it is currently 1:09 p.m. I think. I don't have my contacts in, so I can't really see the clock, but it looks like 1:09 from where I'm lying down. I don't really want to get out of bed right now. I'm comfortable. I just got some absolutely sensational sleep. I do not want to get up out of bed, but I have to. I need to, because I have things to do. We have things to do. And you see, that decision right there, the decision to get out of bed in a timely manner, that is not incidental. That is entirely intentional. And I think today's vlog is going to be about time management. You see, time is basically the building block of reality. Hold on real quick. I completely forgot that I shaved my beard. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot that I shaved my beard. And now I've just had a rude awakening. Speaking of which, I don't think I mentioned why I shaved my beard yesterday. So basically the short answer is that I felt like it. I just didn't want a beard anymore. But the long answer is that I knew that this is going to be a very busy and pivotal month for me. And I didn't really want to allocate time. I didn't want to allocate my time to things that I knew weren't ultimately going to move the needle for me. Right? A beard is very firmly in the 80% of things that don't really matter. And I'm going to explain the 80-20 rule here in a few minutes. But first, let me brush my teeth, bro. My breath is kicking. Also, hold on. I have a question for you. Me and my girlfriend, you see, my girlfriend, she's wild. She is absolutely wild. She puts the toothpaste on first and then wets the toothbrush. And I find that to be absolutely devious behavior. Let me know what you do, because me personally, that is the craziest thing that somebody could ever possibly do. Now, like I was saying, time is the building block of reality. But what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Well, basically, your life is comprised of different units of time. Minutes, seconds, hours, days, weeks, months, years, etc. Moments. Your life is comprised of units of time. If you live to be 80 years old, then that's 80 years of time. You've gone 365 days, plus leap years where you have an extra day, 80 times. And what you need to understand is that the way that you use those units of time determines the outcome of your life. So how you use today directly influences and even determines what you experience tomorrow. Yup, that water is cold. Het is koud. I feel like I'm being waterboarded right now. So, like I was saying, the way that you use today determines what you experience tomorrow. And this is a concept that when I was younger, I simply did not seem to understand. You see, when I was younger, I didn't really have a good understanding of time management. Time management. I didn't understand why time management was so important. As a matter of fact, the way that I was lying in bed earlier, it wasn't uncommon for me to grab my phone, to grab this device right here, and stay on it for a few hours in bed. Right when I start my day, getting on Twitter, Instagram, all of these other social media things. And what I didn't understand at the time was that that was in the 80% of things that wasn't moving the needle for me. It wasn't changing my life in the way that I wanted it to. These things right here, these things comprise the 20%. Now, what am I talking about? You're like, Jordan, why are you talking in percentages? Okay, I dropped out of school. I don't really like talking about numbers and percentages either if I can avoid it. But what you need to understand is that Oh my God, that is zoomed in. What you need to understand is that your life is comprised of two types of behaviors. There are behaviors that fall into the 80% and behaviors that fall into the 20%. Basically, the 80-20 rule goes as such. 20% of the things that you're doing are getting you 80% of the results that you're getting. 80% of the things that you're doing are getting you 20% of the results that you're getting. So once again, I dropped out of school. I'm no mathematician, although I did do well in math in school. The point that I'm making is that you need to figure out what those 20% things are, those 20% behaviors are, and you need to maximize those. And when I was 19, I didn't have a good grasp on this, and it would have been practically impossible for me to have done all of these things on a daily basis. You see, when I was 19, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually was already vlogging. I was already vlogging just like I'm doing now. I would do 3 vlogs every single week, and whether I was out with my friends or no matter what I did, I would vlog. And I never found the time to do all of the other things that mattered. For example, washing my face and just anything else that's on that list. Stretching, okay, I neglected my stretches, and once again, that's what got me in physical therapy for the better part of 2 years, right? Spending hundreds of dollars over time on that because I didn't want to stretch. I wasn't getting enough sleep. And the reason why is because, aside from the fact that I was working at H&M, which was a part-time job, so it's not like that was taking any more than 30 hours a week, I simply didn't have good time management skills. If you're waking up and getting on your phone, you can't expect to be productive for the day. You simply can't. And that's a big rule that I personally have. I never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, get on my phone right after waking up. Because to me, that is the absolute worst thing you can do to start your day. It creates negative momentum. Negative momentum, because what are you expecting to accomplish by getting on social media or getting on YouTube as soon as you wake up? One of a few things can happen. You either see something really bad and it ruins your day, or you see something good and it keeps you hooked on the app. Okay, so there's literally no winning with that. That is why I do not get on my phone. I know my girl has texted me. I know my girl has already texted me, but I can't get on my phone until I finish my morning routine, which, like I mentioned earlier, consists of skincare, meditation, gratitude journaling, and email work. Okay, so that's what my meditations generally look like. Nothing fancy. I don't have a meditation mat. I don't listen to 432 hertz music or anything like that when I meditate. I just sit there and I imagine, and I'm saying this metaphorically, but this is just how I would illustrate it. Instead of trying to clear my mind of all thoughts, I simply become the observer of my thoughts. So imagine the difference between being in a car in traffic and standing on a bridge watching the traffic underneath you, watching the cars pass by. That's pretty much what I do when I meditate. A lot of people believe that money buys happiness, and I vehemently disagree with that. Money doesn't buy happiness, money buys time. And you can use that time to exchange it for happiness. You see, the biggest change that I ever made in my life was not making more money. No. It was the moment that I no longer had to exchange this for this. The way that you weigh these two things determines the quality, the overall quality of your life. In my opinion, that is. Time freedom is the ultimate freedom because it frees you up to build the reality that you would like to experience. And so for me, like I said, I choose to use my time to do these things because these are the 80% of things which have yielded me the most results in life thus far. And that is why I'm a big proponent of planners. Okay, I use my planner to map out the life that I know I want to experience. And also, this is why I'm a big proponent of allowing myself to sleep in. All of these productivity, self-improvement gurus talk all the time about waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to leverage all the time that you can. My brother in Christ, if we are sleeping 8 hours a day, we are getting the same amount of time. It doesn't matter when that time frame is. For me, the main rule that I have is that from the time I leave the bed until the time I return to the bed at night or in the morning whenever I choose to go to sleep, I need to complete all of these tasks right here. That is all that matters. As long as I do all of these things before I go to sleep, I'm good. And I'm using my time efficiently. I just now, don't know if you can see that, hold on, wait. I just finished my morning routine. Boom. So now, I'm gonna do my stretches. But before I do that, let me go ahead and respond to some of these comments. Shout out to my boy KaiNo6687 for being the first. Shout out to you, my guy. I'm gonna shout out the first person to comment on each vlog, so he's first today. Shout out to you. Did anybody else watch the Spurs and Suns play yesterday? That was one of the craziest comebacks I've ever seen in my life. I think that's right up there with when Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, when they were playing for the Washington Wizards, when they did that comeback against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. Those are probably the two craziest comebacks that I've seen in real time. Shout out to Victor Wembanyama. Ooh, I know you guys heard that. I forgot to mention this, but oh god. Today I am going to be doing legs and shoulders. So like I was saying yesterday, I alternate between upper body and lower body, but I include shoulders with my lower body because otherwise, I don't know, I feel like the leg workout will be too easy. But this is kind of, I guess, a physique check for my legs. I don't really know how to properly flex my legs or anything like that, but I don't know if it really shows, but I've definitely put on some type of muscle. My legs are not NFL player level or anything like that, but I feel like they're proportional to the rest of my body. And this is what I'm currently working with. And soon enough, I'm going to show you my whole entire leg day routine, and I'll probably show my stretching routine in the same video, just because my stretches tend to be more focused on legs, hips, and shoulders. But that's what I'm working with. I think that my legs look pretty decent, especially considering that there were a few years where I could not, literally physically could not work out my legs. That really sucked. But now, thankfully, because I've been doing my stretches consistently, okay? Because I've been doing my stretches consistently, I've been able to regain the mobility to be able to do all of these leg exercises that actually get the gains. Again, the 20%. The 20% of leg exercises that actually gets 80% of the leg gains. And speaking of the 80-20 rule and time management, I want to touch on a concept that we often talk about in the NoFap community, and this is mostly because of IceColdJT, shout out to him. Which, by the way, let me just get close to the camera and say this. I do not know where IceColdJT is. Okay, people keep asking me, and I understand. You're concerned for his well-being and everything. At one point, I was too, and I reached out to him. And I'm not going to reveal anything about his personal life or anything like that. Truthfully, I don't know much about his personal life. But what I will say is that our last conversation left me under the impression that he would be back to YouTube. So, IceColdJT, he's not a bus driver, as far as I know anyways. He's not a bus driver or anything like that. He has very, very, very grand aspirations for his YouTube channel and for his brand. And I am sure, with 100% certainty, that when he does come back, he's coming back with some heat. Okay, he is coming back with some absolute heat, with some absolute fire. I'm not trying to hype him up and set him up for failure or anything like that, but again, this is just from my last conversation with him. He left me under the impression that he will be back. So, that's the last time I'm speaking on that. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, something that IceColdJT said that the NoFap community has definitely taken and run with. I don't know how to correctly say that. Am I even a writer? Anyways, don't count the days, make the days count. Don't count the days, Make the days count. What does that mean? What does that mean? Which leg was I stretching? I think, no? Yeah, here we go. What does that actually mean? How do you apply that in your day-to-day life? Again, it goes back to the 80-20 rule. It's as simple as making the most of your days. However, I want to kind of elaborate on that saying because I think a lot of people, they see that aspect of it, of making the most of your days, but they don't really understand the distinction between NoFap being a challenge and NoFap truly being a lifestyle. And the reason why I say that is because people, they'll go to 90 days or even a year or 2 years or 5 years, then they relapse and then they believe that they're on day 0, which does not make any sense. Hold on real quick. I cannot breathe, bro. I need to do more cardio. This is ridiculous. I promise I'm not on steroids or anything like that, bro. My breath, I don't know what's going on with that. But is that 15 seconds yet? I think so. Anyways, so people don't understand that just because you relapse on NoFap doesn't mean that you're on day 0. It literally does not work like that. Nothing else in life, no other self-improvement practice works that same way. In other words, getting caught up on not being able to get past day 13 or day 14, day 90, whatever, you're doing more damage than the relapse itself, okay, by having that mentality. What you need to focus on is creating a lifestyle which aligns with NoFap. That's what that saying means. That's how I personally... Being out of breath from stretches is crazy, bro, but that's how I personally interpret that saying. Don't count the days, make the days count. Okay, so use the days to make NoFap a lifestyle, not using NoFap to create a lifestyle, if that makes sense. I don't think I said that in an easily understandable way, so let me just completely rephrase that. Basically, instead of thinking about how you can use NoFap to change your life, you should focus on changing your life in such a way that NoFap becomes natural. And that's pretty much the whole purpose of me doing these vlogs, is to show you what those changes actually look like. Because I'm not some productivity guru or anything like that. I'm just a person living my life. And I don't believe that my capabilities are beyond, or I won't say capabilities, I don't believe that my potential capabilities are beyond anybody watching this at all. And as a matter of fact, you have an advantage over me because I didn't have my channel. So all of the mistakes that I've made, all of the fine tuning that I've done in terms of building out my life and building this new version of me, you get to skip all of the mistakes that I've made because you've seen them in real time. So, in other words, don't count the days, make the days count. Focus on reframing your life to emphasize the 20% of things that actually matter. Now, all that being said, I do believe that for some people, it's actually... Oh my god, I know you heard that. It's actually advantageous to count the days on NoFap. And the reason why is because some people are not accustomed to winning. And if you're not accustomed to winning, such as, let's say, my younger self, somebody who had never won any trophies, never really won any awards that mattered to him, to me, I don't know if I should... that doesn't matter. Anyways, if you're not accustomed to winning, then you need to make a habit out of celebrating every single victory, no matter how small. And every day on NoFap is a victory in and of itself. And that's kind of why I'm counting the days at this point, at least for the sake of the content, is because I want people to feel the win of every single day and rewire their minds to get accustomed to winning. And then once you become accustomed to winning, once that becomes your natural state of being, then at that point you can stop counting the days. Some people, can just hop straight on a bike and learn without falling off. Other people need training wheels. All that matters is that you learn how to ride the bike. So there's no superior or inferior way of doing NoFap, in my opinion. It's literally just what works for you. That's my personal take on that. But again, from a fundamental level, don't count the days, make the days count is applicable to everyone, because it takes the power away from the practice and puts it back into your hands. Instead of making your happiness and your self-worth contingent on NoFap or any other self-improvement practice, you're able to do these things because you love yourself. They become the natural byproduct of the life that you're already living. Just some food for thought. Speaking of food, I'm getting kind of hungry. What are you doing in here? Put that in there. What I eat in a day, coming soon. Creatine. Shh. Don't call me Jordan Green anymore. Call me Jordan Ramsey. Alright, quit playing with me. And also, have you ever noticed that cats are basically just NPCs? Okay, we have a problem. I am not taking multiple trips up and down those damn stairs. So I need to figure out a way to take all of this upstairs in one trip without dropping any of it. And I still need to grab the camera. Got it. Oh, shit. You love to see it. And here we are with this absolutely devious angle yet again, doing these planks. I would highly advise you to do these planks with me. Why? Because misery loves company, that's why. This never gets easier, never becomes comfortable. Okay, that's kind of a lie, it does get a little easier over time, but I never, ever wake up thinking to myself, I can't wait to do my planks today. Never. And that's exactly why I do them. Fun fact, when I used to go to the chiropractor throughout 2020, that man used to have me do 4 planks back to back to back to back with about 30 seconds of rest in between, 1.5 minutes each plank. You want to talk about misery? Now, do you want to know why I was at the chiropractor? Hold on real quick. Hold on. Because I didn't do my stretches. Okay, do your stretches. These ones right here, it's these ones that are absolutely duplicitous, dastardly, devious, diabolical, insidious, just plain evil. Last one, Jordan. Last one. Pro tip, anytime you're doing a plank or anything like that, you go up first and then you start the timer once you're already up so that you don't miss that extra second. We don't cheat ourselves, okay? We do not cheat ourselves. If you're going to do it, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it correctly. You might as well do it thoroughly. You might as well do it completely. Boom.
You can start applying them and testing them out for yourself. I'll see you in the next lecture.
Okay. You know what that means. It's about that time. Heb weinig eten nodig. Ik weet het niet.
niet.
Oké. Houd je van jurken? 304 days. Quit playing with me. We move up in the Ruby League. I don't even know what that means. And now, just like yesterday, I'm gonna go ahead and work on my poetry book. Earth tone colors complement complexion of brown-eyed lovers who conquer the connection to the consonant selection that I capture in my prose, from the vowels in the valleys to the rhythm of the rose, to the colors on your clothes, like the gardens of your gaze, to the roots of resurrection, the inception of the phrase, the acceptance of the days that we'll surely spend together, as two brown-eyed lovers who no distance can untether. Alright, so that was yet another snippet of my book, which, like I said yesterday, will be coming out January 11th, 2024. And yeah, man, that poem is obviously about my girlfriend. And just a heads up, you didn't hear it from me, but tomorrow I will be revealing my girlfriend. I've already revealed my girlfriend, but I'm going to have her in the vlog for the first time. I'm going to involve her actively in the vlog, so be on the lookout for that. But I'm about to go ahead and do legs and shoulders. Like I said earlier, today is leg and shoulders day. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, het is een beetje koud. It is a little cold outside, bro. So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Super setting should help with that. And of course, between sets, you already know the deal. Okay, I'm gonna be reading my book. Ik lees het boek. Ik ben Nederlands. Quit playing with me. Drop set. That's one set. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting passage from the book right here. When the rational mind sleeps, we dream, but we do not remember our dreams. I find this interesting because if we are not the rational mind, then who are we? You see, we're so used to identifying with our minds, with our thoughts, with our sense of logic and rationality, that we don't really take the time to consider who we are beyond that. Because if we're observing our minds, if we're capable of observing our minds, then who are we? I actually talked more extensively about this in a video that I filmed late last year. Hold on real quick, but let me catch my breath. Told you, bro, these supersets are OD, but I talked more about this in a video that I filmed last year. I forgot what the video was called, but in the video I had a lighter and I was using that as an analogy that fire can't burn itself and water can't wet itself, and by extension the mind cannot be aware of itself. So if we're aware of our minds, we mustn't be our minds, we must be something else beyond that. And this falls in line with something that I've been considering recently, which is the idea that we are not the self, but we are the awareness of the self. If we think about being self-aware, what does that actually insinuate? It insinuates that we are capable of stepping beyond the self and being aware of it. But in order to be aware of it, we must be beyond it. So what actually are we? I'll let you decide that for yourself. Alright, so just like I predicted, mind your business. Just like I predicted, boom. I finished everything aside from editing before 8 o'clock p.m. Now, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me set you up in the ring light. Okay, I want you to get this good lighting because you deserve it. You deserve it, and also, to be quite frank, I just don't feel like holding this camera right now. So I want to leave you with this because the primary theme of today's video was time. Okay, talking about utilizing your time in an efficient manner. I could have easily lied in bed all day and decided not to do any of the tasks that were on my to-do list. I could have simply decided to not do any of this stuff. But even if I had chosen to do that, the time would have passed regardless. I got out of bed at what? 1 p.m., give or take? It's not even 8 p.m. yet. That's less than 8 hours. That is less than 8 hours of, matter of fact, that's less than 7 hours. That's less than 7 hours of total work time. That time would have passed whether I had gotten out of bed or not. Time waits for nobody. It will keep going no matter what you do. Your job is to use your time to secure your freedom. Now, how you go about doing that? Once again, you use the 80-20 rule. And my goal through the remainder of this month is to show you how to do that.